What's going on, everybody? It's wilkyb, and this is another Advance Wars by Web video that I'm bringing to you. This is a standalone video. This is like a criticism video that I have for Advance Wars by Web. This video is for people who are kind of familiar with this website and Advance Wars in general, and in particular the map making committee or the map making community and like competitive Advance Wars. So this is a criticism of the Advance Wars by Web moderation team and the map committee and the Discord moderators and the authorities of the community in general, who I have not gotten along with in the past. And I'll tell you why. So a little background. I started making maps on this website in like 2017 or something like that. 2017 or 2016, and the first like 3 or 4 years that I spent on this website in this community were it was pretty ugly because I was really bad at making maps, and I wouldn't follow the rules that people told me to follow. So the map making committee and the global league on this website, if you want to play in the competitive league on this website, and this website is where everybody goes to play Advance Wars. If you go to this website and you want to make a map that can qualify for Global League, then you have to follow the rules that the map committee have designed in order to qualify for Global League. And so my maps to this day don't qualify to Global League because of the rules that they have. And one of those rules I'll just show you right now immediately. So this is one of the Global League maps here, for example. And as you can see, one of the things that you have to do to qualify is you have to make maps with this base setup. And my map doesn't do this. So this is 2 base plus 1 infantry. And this is one way to combat first turn advantage. And my map doesn't do that. This is my map here. So I've designed these maps over the course of like 7 years, this style of map here. And as you can see, this style of map includes player 1 with with a mech, and Blue Moon with the infantry here. So basically, Orange Star is a bit punchier. They have the mech to start, and Blue Moon is more like economy. They get to capture the first, comm tower first, or the first base, etc., etc. Actually, that's not necessarily true. But yeah, this is the way that the map is set up. And because of this setup, and it's 1 base, it is disqualified. Like, it doesn't even qualify to be reviewed by the map committee for the Global League. So, there's a lot of people who probably are scratching their heads. I mean, if you're familiar with the website and stuff, you disagree with me anyways, so it doesn't matter. But the people who I'm trying to convince here, and the arguments I'll be using here, that my map is not... I'm not going to say whether my map is better or if it deserves to be in the Global League and stuff. I am going to indicate here how the Global League maps, and like 80%, I'd say like 70% of the Global League maps, Fog of War we're talking here, 70% of the maps have this setup where there's just like no player-player interaction until like day 10 at the very earliest. And this is like one of the worst culprits of this map. One thing about the 2 base opener is that the economy develops really quickly. For 2 reasons, is because you start with 3,000 income off the bat, and you also have two of these bases that you can use to develop the capture phase. So you capture everything like really quickly, really rapidly, and you're also at the opposite ends of the map from each other. Like, there's no way for me to possibly like send a recon to slow down the capture phase over here. And not only that, but there's no way for me to gather intelligence on what my opponent's doing in the early game. But even still, there's no reason for me to do that because there's no variety. Like, I know what my opponent is doing every single time on this map for 10 turns. So I posit that that's not great for like the gameplay. It just doesn't really make a really interesting development phase. And then what ends up happening is there's just like a big death ball that makes it to the middle of the map, like by turn 10 or something, which is where like the first interactions start happening. And then the death ball gets bigger and bigger and bigger and stuff. And there's just no interaction in the early game to sort of slow down that death ball spiral. So anyways, I'm kind of using some terminology here. But if we compare, I mean, it's hard to compare because I don't have replays to show here, but the early game in this is, first off, it develops much less rapidly, which I think is really important because in the other maps, development just happens way too rapidly, and there's nothing you can do to stop it if your opponent plays greedy. But on this map here, if your opponent plays greedy, there are things that you can do to stop it. Or, at the very least, there are things you can do to uncover, to reveal that your opponent is playing greedy or aggressive, and then you can kind of change to accordingly. And this happens in the early stages of the game. So anyways, basically my criticism here, just to kind of wrap things up, there is a huge variety and breadth of gameplay that the Global League is just completely missing. Yeah, they really don't like me because I was persistent about the way that I develop my map. And now that I'm here, I'm really happy about the way that this map works. People tell me that they love the map and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think that, like, when I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but when I started making maps in this community, I was treated like shit for not following the rules. And basically, Advance Wars by Web and the Discord and the moderators and the map committee basically enabled and sponsored people, maybe not sponsored, okay, but they absolutely enabled people to treat me like shit. And when I talked back to them, when people would talk shit about me and my map and my methods and that I'm stupid and stuff, when I would talk back to them, I was the one who was banned. I was the one who was reprimanded. I was the one who was consistently said that I'm wrong and stupid for not using their map making rules. So I guess if you want to qualify for the Global League, then by that criteria, yes, I am stupid because this map, by their criteria, does not qualify for Global League. So this kind of makes me a bit upset because honestly, the Global League maps are like, they've been making the same kind of map, the two infantry, the 2 base 1 infantry opener. They've been doing this for like 15 or 20 years on this website. Probably 15 years on this website. And the new maps that churn out are basically just like a rehash of the old gameplay that completely misses the early game. So it's just funny when I come here and I shake things up and, I guess I kind of, incidentally, when I was developing maps and learning how to do this, incidentally, I was offending the map committee because I wasn't following their rules and still persisting that my map should qualify for Global League. So, anyways, that's my spiel here. I've been banned from the Discord as well, if I haven't said that, and it's lame. There's like a whole community of people who, well, it's not really the whole community, but there's people who, when my name comes up in the community, they talk shit about me, and I can't do anything about it. And when these people typically have criticisms for my maps and stuff, I'll listen to them, and they actually help. But at the same time, they're so nasty and, like, trying to be offensive towards me and stuff. It's just kind of funny. So, at the same time, I appreciate all of the criticisms and stuff that they've given to me. But I don't appreciate the name calling and the offensive remarks and just being really rude. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I'll end it here. This is wilkyb reporting in and signing off. Adios.